Hey there, how's it going? Great to see you. Today we've got an update for the Yolobox Mini. This is the new Yolobox that just came out recently, and it's the first update we've had for it. I'm not going to waste too much time. Let's jump straight into it and have a look at what's in this update and install it on my Yolobox. So here's the Yolobox Mini. As you can see, it's a nice small device. The Yolobox Pro sticks out about this far around it, another centimetre or so. What I'm going to do now is just install this new update, and I can do that by clicking on the settings tab and click update here, and here's the update ready for me to install. As you can see, it's version 1.1.0. It includes webcam out with audio and video. The web URL overlay has been added into here, and the ability to replicate a live stream and reuse the settings without any hassle. If I scroll up, you can also see there are two new graphic overlays, an animated GIF overlay support, and you can now adjust the transparency for the countdown timer on here. These are similar to the updates that we saw on the Yolobox Pro recently, and they're also coming to the Yolobox very soon with a whole heap of other stuff as well. So let's just click on install and get that running. I've got this hooked up to my Wi-Fi, so of course it's going to be relatively quick to install. There's the download done. It's doing the install now, and I'm going to use a little bit of editing trickery to make it happen quick. In the real world, that took about 2 to 3 minutes for the install to run, but because I was able to do a speed ramp, you don't have to sit through it, and now the Yolobox is just restarting, so we'll cut back to that. Now let's have a look at the new features of version 1.1.0 of the Yolobox Mini. The first of these is webcam output. This used to feed just the video over USB to your laptop, and you used to have to take the audio out separately. Now it feeds both audio and video together, so that you have the one file coming through and you don't have to run the separate cables. The second thing is the web URL overlay. Now to show you this, I'll need to create a new live stream project, which I'll just call AAA. Here we go, and I'll open that up. And in the overlays here, you can see that I can create a new overlay, and with the web URL overlays. So what I can do is put a web address in here. So what I can do is type a URL in here, hit done, and now it will bring that up. At the moment it's just coming up saying that that's not available, but that's okay. It still shows the end effect. So if I just bring up an image here, and then I can put that over the top of it, and you can see that that overlays the page just like that. This is really great because it means that you can custom build any kind of web page and overlay it onto your image, and it will come up and you can put a whole heap of different info. This is everything from say a chat feed on the side, or you might have blocks of text that you want to dynamically add or create that you can do using a web feed, or it might be some video from a web page that you want to put over the corner, or anything like that. Anything that appears in a web browser, you can get into here. The next new feature is being able to reuse a project settings by replicating that project. So I will just go back to the main screen where I've got my project I've just created. Now what I can do is click on this dot 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 in the top corner and choose duplicate. I'm going to call this one BBB just because it follows on from AAA, no particular great reason. If I click on this now to open it up, you'll see that it's got the same overlays that I had in the AAA project. This is great for anyone who does a live stream every day. Say you're doing a cooking show or something else, or a crochet show or something, and you've got the same graphics and title styles and layouts and stuff that you want to use every time. Now you can just duplicate your previous live stream. You've got all of that creative already there, ready to go, and you don't need to spend any time setting up the same thing over and over again. There are two new graphic overlays available, which are the titles, which you can click here, and you can just choose one of these and it will bring a title up on screen. I'm just going to leave the default stuff in there at the moment and click done. So now you can just click on that and it brings a title up on your page. So then you can click away and see what that looks like. So these titles will come up, and then you can hide them away again, and you can build these things and keep a collection of them. If I click on the add new layer again, you can bring this one here up. You can come into here and you can just click here and select which type of social you want. So let's say I'm going to choose YouTube, and then I can go back change the text to be whatever I want it to be, so you would put your channel name in there, and that can prompt people to go and say subscribe to your channel. The next one we've got in here is one of my favorites, which is the animated GIF. This is an image overlay, and now what you can do is select an animated GIF. I've got a couple of them in here. One I've chosen is this Christmas frame. I'll hit done there. What I can do now is scale this up or down a bit if I want to, and move it around the screen, all of that kind of stuff that we're used to. And I'll hit done, and now what I can do is bring up this animated GIF, and it pops up over here around my face. The reason I really like these, they support transparency at last. That's awesome. You can do so many really cool things like this. You can have animated bugs, you could have title sequences, all of that sort of thing in here. Excellent, and they just run off the SD card. And the final one that they've put in here is transparency and also background music on the countdown timers. Once again, come into the overlays, click plus, choose a countdown timer, choose one of the templates you want to use, and you'll see here we've got the background music option again. There's more of that coming. And also down here under transparency, you can just drag that further back or up, and it will change the transparency of the background layer. You can change the background color as well, by the way. So if you make that, say, a goldy color, then it will tint that whole background with that color, which is going to look really cool. You can also still scale that down and move it around the screen as well, and get exactly that layout that you're after. So that's the new features on the Yolobox Mini. They're absolutely fantastic, adding more and more power. They always turn out to be a lot more useful and practical than you might think when you first see them. Go and have a play with them. If you haven't got a Yolobox, there's a link down below where you can go and get one. The Mini, the Pro, and the OG. I recommend getting all three because they've all got different places and workflow. I've got all three of them and I use them all the time, I have to say. The Mini is particularly useful for putting on a camera when you're running a one-man band kind of shoot. The OG is particularly useful because it'll take a couple of different HDMI feeds, so you can put a couple of different things in if you're doing a small gig. And the Pro, of course, has the extra feeds in and a few other features as well. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's also a lot heavier, so not quite as useful as an on-camera monitor. So I highly recommend working to get exactly the one you want for what you're doing. If you get a couple of them, don't forget you can also feed one out to a live stream and use that live stream to ingest into another. So they're also very useful for having as a remote camera, and that remote camera can be anywhere around the world. So thanks for sticking around. If you want to see more videos like this, hit down here and subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, put them into the comment section below. You click on all of these buttons down here. Feel free to try out that thanks button as well. That one's awesome. And watch this video and this video, and I'll see you in another video really soon. I almost did that with one breath. Catch you later.